Glow Racer is Polar Blues' latest game. Their previous release was another Xbox Live title called Brethren of the Coast. That was a sort of Sid Meier's Pirates style ship combat, quite slow and tactical, definitely quite strategic, and they've gone to the complete opposite end of the spectrum this time, and they've released Glow Racer, which is a Micro Machine style top-down racer. Very easy to access, very quick, very speedy, not so much on the whole strategic side of things. As I say, it's completely the other end of the spectrum, and it's quite a joy to play. There's two types of control system for it. One uses the trigger for the speed. One combines speed and direction into the analog sticks when you play. It can take up to 4 players locally. There's no kind of online co-op or anything like that. It's purely 1 to 4 player on the local console. As you can see here, as I'm zooming around the track, it's quite bright, quite sprightly. There's lots of power-ups to collect, and the way that it works is the more maps that you complete and unlock in first place, the more power-ups you unlock, and then also the more maps as well. So as you progress through, the difficulty gets harder, you get more access to power-ups and things like that, which is all quite funky. The guys have actually put in a way of tracking your progress through the game. If you back out to the main menu and back out once more using B, and as well as the credits and some other things, there is the unlocks part of it. So I've not unlocked very much at the minute, but it all goes into sort of these power-ups and the different tracks that you can play. And then on top of that, there's also a mode that allows you to build your own tracks. And likewise, the further you get through the game, the more blocks and the more things you can lay down on your tracks that you want to create yourself, which is really quite a nice feature. It's a little bit hard to get your head around at first. I struggled to kind of build any maps whatsoever. I wasn't really sure what I was doing. There's not really much in the way of any kind of on-the-fly documentation other than a couple of hints that pop up on the screen when it thinks you'll be doing various bits and pieces. But that, I mean, the fact that they've bundled some sort of level maker with this is just absolutely amazing for the 80 points that this thing costs. And there's well over 16 maps in the game as well. So, you know, this is probably going to give you quite a lot of entertainment, and maybe hours of entertainment for 80 Microsoft points, which is pretty damn good in all honesty. And you can see here now the second track that I'm suffering quite poorly in. They add quite a lot of challenges as you go through. The first map obviously was quite basic, just a simple oval, and then this one introduces a couple of multiple routes through the map at one point. Speed up things as well as the PowerPoints, and it's the game itself just gets really kind of addictive, and I found myself just desperately trying to complete a map for ages, and yeah, it's just one of those games that just makes you smile and want to play it some more. The graphics are pretty self-explanatory, as you can see on the screen here. Fairly simple, bright, neon glow. Lots of stuff going on when certain things happen. Bright and vivid. You don't have to have the camera following you around like this. This is just the way that I was playing it at the time. You can also push X to zoom out and have like a fully zoomed out view. I just wasn't recording it in that mode at the particular time. So when there's more of you playing, obviously the sort of zoomed out effect is in far greater play. The sound, you can probably hear that in the background as well. It's quite a funky little track that they have playing. Fits in really well with the kind of game, and it's not something that you'll sort of get bored of and turn off within 10 minutes or so. It's something that's kind of lively and just sits there in the background. It doesn't kind of thump out at you and make you think, oh god, not that tune again, when you're trying to beat the track for like the 15th time. So yeah, it's just a really nice little piece of kit, really, all put together, and an interesting direction considering their first game, one that they've, I think, managed to do really well. Interestingly, a couple of times I did try and cheat and nip across the map on a couple of the later maps and just try and cut off the enemy and just zoom through. And it knows when you do it, and it will punish you for cheating, which is quite a nice little feature actually. So as well as the increase in the difficulty curve, it is aware of when you try and cheat, and it will punish you for it, which is quite funny. So I think that just about covers it, really. So it's basically, as you see it, a top-down Micro Machine style racer. Very fluid, very quick, very easy to pick up and play. Slightly more challenging to master, I think. It's got some funky graphics, some cool background music. It takes up to 4 players. You've got the different control systems, the zoom in, the zoom out, and it's only 80 Microsoft points. And you can build your own races. So I think all in all, a pretty decent buy for anyone out there just looking for something silly to pass the time in between those big AAA titles. All right, thanks for watching.